Psst, you got a little something in your teeth there. AI inspiration up next. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gigi, and as you can see, today we are going to do a little AI inspiration set. I know the last set we did was blue, and this one's going to be blue again, and I don't usually do so much repeating of colors, but as you can see in the AI inspiration, I don't know, I cut it kind of close. Anyway, in the inspiration picture, it's sort of dangling in the sky. So I just decided to stick with that flavor and make it sort of wispy cloud, marbly adjacent sort of situation. We're going to use some blooming gel for that. And here comes the blooming gel now. I'm only going to show you one of them, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that Gigi screwed up. That's right. Thought I turned on the camera. Did I turn on the camera? You tell me. And so when I looked up to make sure I was still, in the right spot or whatever to move on to the next part of the set, I realized what I had done. I just, when something happens and it's your fault and your soul just like shrinks a little in that moment, that's how I felt. I was just like, I was defeated. I just stood up and walked away from my desk and came back after, 20 minutes of pouting or whatever I did. Here's the 5 that you didn't see. They're pretty, but we're going to add another layer of blooming gel and stuff in just a minute and make the cloud situation a little more wispy, but more dense as well. You'll see. You'll see. So here we go. We're going to come in and grab some of this. This whole nail, just like everything on my channel, was a learning experience. I have never made a mouth before. I've drawn mouths, but I've never made one. Actually working with this 3D gel is all a new experience for me. And so it's been so much fun learning how to make 3D shapes and stuff. And I think as I go, I'm just going to learn more things and get better and better at it. So I made the mouth, the lip shape, I just rolled out that tube shape and tapered it a little at the ends. And then laid it down on the nail. And I'm just futzing with it a little to make sure everything is where I want it to be and it's the shape I want it to be. We are going to come in and add some texture to the lip, but I'm going to tell you now that honestly, that was wasted effort on my part. I think if I had had the gel, the color of the lip that I wanted without having to add a gel on top, making this lip texture would have been a fine idea. I really like it when I see the 3D mouths and they have the little creases in the lips. But what ended up being a wasted effort on this particular set. The tentacles are going to come over the lip, so you really don't see as much of the lip as you would if it was, without having anything on it. And because of the gel polish just really filled in those little creases and they virtually disappeared. And no matter how much I tried to use the brush to get it out, and I even came in with a dry brush at one point to try to pull them out, it just really doesn't work that well. And when you do get it pulled out, it makes it look gray. So I just decided, no, let it fill in as much as it wants to. Whatever you see is whatever you see, and we'll try this technique another time. And for this reason, I also wish that I had just used the pink gel, because then I wouldn't really need to use any polish. So there were things I could do different on this set. You can see here, I'm using the dry brush. I'm trying to get some of but see, it's taking away what's on top and it's not taking away what's in the little creases. So I think if you have a thicker gel, that you can control more, it might work a little better, because you use a little more pressure with a thick gel on your brush. Um, there, bottom line is this: there is a learning curve to working with the gel. No matter how easy and fun it is, there's still a little curve. Here's a little something that's about to happen. Listen, guys, I could have just left that out, but I loved it so much when it happened. What you don't hear, because I've muted the video, of course, is that I am laughing my butt off while I'm cleaning that gel off my glove. I was laughing so hard. I was just so happy about the way it pulled out of the container and how smooth it was and shiny. It made my day. It really did. When I started this set, I was still actually a little bit sick. Honestly, I'm still not done feeling kind of crappy. I still have a tiny bit of a cough. That's almost over. Coming in with some more polish, and as you can see, the more you add, the less you see the texture. But what you do see of it, it looks gray. So back to what I said earlier, it's a learning curve. I'm going to enjoy the process and the journey and just let whatever mistakes happen teach me, right? Because you learn from your mistakes. So that's just my little message for you today. Don't let your mistakes sideline you. It's not worth it. Okay, so now using that pink gel, and like I said, I wish I'd started with the pink gel and just pretty much stayed with it for the lips and the tentacles, because this is a perfect pink color. I probably could have gotten away without using any gel polish, sorry. So I'm just making the tentacles now. Same thing. I made a tube shape and tapered the ends. Then I cut it in half, and I'm just refining the shape while the gel polish cures on the mouth. And now I'm taking the end of a brush and just using it as a placeholder to help me create the little swirls, I guess you would say, the way the tentacles move, right? The way that they curl in on each other. That's what I want to say. So we're making the curls. There you go. I knew swirls wasn't the word I wanted to use, you guys. There we go. I feel happy now. Because this one's going to be pointed up a little bit, right? And I decided, listen, when I was deciding I wanted to do this set, and honestly, the second I saw that AI image, I knew I wanted to do the set. And it was on a post where somebody had taken the inspiration themselves and made a purse charm. So I thought if they could make a purse charm, I could 100% make some sort of similar mouth, right? 100% admitting my mouth does not look the same as the picture. I don't like it in the middle. We're going to smooch it over a little. I said smooch. I meant scooch. That was funny. And I'm just going to use the silicone tool to smooth it out, get rid of any texture that was added when I was holding it. Guys, like I said, I was sick when I did this set, and not horribly, but like I said, I still don't feel good. So I'm a little shaky in today's video. So just, don't clown me too hard in the comments on that. Normally nobody does, but I do get questions from time to time. Why are you so shaky? I just always have been. I don't know why. Maybe it's all the asthma medicine. Who knows? But anyway, when I saw the image, I just loved it. And I had been wanting to do a mouth set. And Summerween is a big trend right now. And I feel like this is a little bit in that sort of flavor. Guys, like I said, I still don't feel very good. I'm a little fuzzy. I don't know what it is. And I've been really tired. Although today, I don't feel so tired. I feel better today. So I feel like that's me being on the tail end of whatever this cold was. Not not the worst cold I've ever had, but it has been a little irritating uh, how tired I've felt, right? Sometimes you get a cold and you're like, I don't feel good, but I'm fine. I can, get the house clean and do this and do that, whatever I need to, maybe an extra nap, just I'll be okay. But this was not that kind of cold. So there you go. If you do want to clown me, go ahead and clown me about the huge mess that I am making as I paint these nails. Look, I got it on my glove. I've got the dark pink and the light pink on my glove. I'm getting it all over the place. Thank goodness there's a cleanup brush right there, because this set, I cleaned up a lot of stuff. There you go. I think if I just put a little blobby down and used a smaller brush on the tight spaces, I would have been okay. But I didn't do that, and my cleanup brush is my friend. I am going to, as you can see, I am going to do it a little bit on the underneath, because I realized I was getting a little bit crazy. And honestly, anywhere I can use the actual polish brush, I will, because it's bigger, right? If I can add the bulk of the polish in a more efficient way, then that's what I'm going to do. I have a tendency to always look for the most efficient way to make a job happen. I don't know. It's just always how I've been. When I was little, I worked a lot. My parents owned restaurants, and I say that like they had a chain or something. No, 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 no. That we owned a restaurant when I was little, and we had that for several years. And then when we closed that one, my mom opened a different one downtown. This is all in Albuquerque. And I worked in both the restaurants. And so being efficient, I think, was just trained into me, because I started working for my parents when I was very, very young, and also started being uh, the caretaker to my younger siblings a lot when I was around 9. So you have to learn to do things the best way that you can, right? That's all that is. There you go. It's not a sob story. It's just an explanation story, I guess. There you go. So we're just going to finish cleaning up this mess that I made so that our lips look good. Although at the end of the video, and even when I was taking the pictures, literally didn't notice it until I was putting the video together, that on the top lip is one spot of the darker pink color. And I don't know how it got there. I'm sure if I went back and watched every second of the video closely, I might be able to find it. But if you see me do it, point it out to me in the comment section so I can go back and watch. As soon as I noticed it, I was like, damn it. I'm so mad that that's there. But, it's good to show your imperfections and that you are on a progression track, not a perfection track, because the perfection track, that's a trap. The track to perfection is a trap. You'll never get there, and you'll always be mad that you're not getting what you want done. So don't do that to yourself. So here, what I'm doing, this is just a little bit of the clear gel, and we are just putting it right there where the tentacles end, because I need something to put the teeth on. None of the gums or anything are going to show, and I didn't want there to be any empty space that the teeth could fall into. I just needed a platform for them. So we're going to put this down. You're never going to see it. Once it's cured, we're done with it. We're going to set the teeth on there and shape them on that platform, and then cure it up, and you'll never see it again. But it's just the space you need. Think of it as a shelf for the teeth. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Now here we are with a little white. I'm a little too far out of frame, but this is the best I can give you in the moment. We're coming back over. There we go. There we go. Then I'm just going to start shaping up the teeth. And while I do that, guys, I'm just pressing them into place and then I'm going to put the indentations for the individual teeth, and then we're going to cure it up. And while we make this, let's just dish a little bit about Project Runway, okay? If you don't like Project Runway, just mute me. You can put on the caption so you can see when I stop talking about it, okay? But I love Project Runway. I have since the beginning. I've spent the last 20 years of my life loving this show. And I know that there are no shows that are perfect. There are no shows where everyone is happy when they're making it. I mean, maybe there's one or two, but I doubt that there's many. I think if we can get through the Weinstein years with Project Runway, which honestly back then I didn't even realize Weinstein was a person or a problem. I just knew that I like beautiful clothes and I like artists and I love Project Runway. So this season it's been a tiny bit different, not horribly different. They've always done little experiments with Project Runway and changing things here and there to see how it lands. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Like the Tim Gunn save, that was a big deal. Doing the things where they show what the models think, that happened for a while, went away for a while, came back for a while. They always try new things. And you constantly hear the complaints from certain people who say they are fans of the show, but when they talk, you can tell they really aren't. They just like to complain. But there are the diehard fans out there who are not happy with this season. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm hearing, oh, it's all about drama this season. We're going to go ahead and use the pink gel for the top lip. Although I am still going to paint it because the pink gel is slightly different than the pink gel polish. Okay, so I've been hearing, especially on Reddit, I've been reading tons of complaints about how it's not about the clothes this season, it's just about the drama. I'm sorry, did you watch season 2? Did you? Did you watch Kenley Collins season? Did you watch Ivy season? I mean, there has not been that much drama this season except that one of the twins cries a lot because he can't handle it. There's really not been a ton of drama at all this season. So that makes it, to me, I don't need the drama, but I do like to see the personalities of the judges. It bums me out when that personality then makes you start to see somebody in a different way, like that happened a couple of times already, not in this season, but in the show, like then I changed the way I saw him because of the Real Lady Challenge. And then Jeffrey Sibilia, that happened with him, and the Mother Challenge. So I've not seen any drama that rises to the level of those situations once yet in this season. So I don't get the whole hubbub about that. And nobody in this competition has talked to Heidi, or Nina, the way that Santino talked to her, or the way that Kenley Collins talked to her, or a few other designers I can think of if I thought about it for a moment. So I don't get that. The fashion has been hit or miss, but that's true with every season. I have disagreed with the judges a few times. Again, that happens every season. So I'm happy so far with the season this year, except I'm on the fence with the saving the eliminations for the next episode like a cliffhanger. I feel like it's unnecessary and it leaves us waiting for no reason. But that's just my opinion. I'm not upset to the point that I'm mad about it. It's just, they're trying something and we'll see how it works out. The biggest thing this season that has blown me away, but not at the same time, is Kenley Collins' TikTok and Instagram posts. At first, it was primarily on her Instagram, but she started migrating those over to TikTok. Um, I've also been watching Amanda Valentine. By the way, she's my favorite of all the designers ever on Project Runway. I'm just using this tool to shape the lips and smooth them out at the same time, right? That's all I'm doing here. Kenley, on her season, she was very bratty, very bitchy and snide and ungrateful. From the moment you can see how shaky I am, guys. Sorry about that. She was, she thought that she was it and that everyone else was beneath her. That showed in her attitude, in the way that she talked to Nina and the other judges, the way that she responded to any amount of criticism or pushback. So the way she's talking about the production now doesn't surprise me. Some of the things she's saying, I'm not sure what to make of it. That she doesn't like Andy Cohen, I love that. I don't like him either. I've always thought he gave me a bad vibe. And of course, Harvey Weinstein, that man's a creep, he always has been. But she's also said some pretty shady stuff about Tim and a few other people, like talking smack about Heidi and that she's stupid and just really insulting, horrible stuff. But when you watch her season, in no way does this attitude surprise you. Well, actually, I think she was on 2 seasons, right? I was not really a fan of hers throughout her season. But I will say this, I'm always rooting for the designers, always. I really want everyone to succeed. I really want everyone to make their best work, with a few exceptions. Like when they had those other twins on, the girls, from the moment I saw them, I thought, okay, they're not really here for design, they're here for fame, and I am not a fan of theirs. And the more they talked and the more they interacted, the less I liked them. Now they're doing the twin thing again this season, and I'm still on the fence with it. I love Jesus from his season from back in the day. We're just doing a little more blooming, like I told you we were going to do. I want to let it bloom more. Because I put the green on first, it bloomed a lot more than the white, and I wanted to have a more wispy bloom on some of the white as well. So that's why we're coming in with this, and I think it's perfect. It came out really good. I like Jesus on his season, but his dynamic with his brother is super annoying. And the stupid feud between them and Ethan, that's also annoying. It's a competition. You can't take this stuff personally. It's not personal. Sometimes your work is great, sometimes it's not. And the twin that's upset, Jesus's brother, Antonio, he's a brat. He is this season's brat. He cries all the time. He's always destroyed with every critique. And he thinks that the judges don't like him because they don't like his designs. Sweetie, it's fashion. It's not, let's all take care of your fifis. So he needs to get over himself. So here we are, just adding a little paint to our top lip so it matches the bottom. But as you can see, it's super close in color to the gel, the 3D gel. So I should have just used it in the first place. The only thing that makes the gel polish a little better is that it's got some shimmer in it. As you can see, it's a little shimmery. So it adds that little extra oomphiness to the lips. For my very first mouth, you guys, I'm pretty freaking happy with this. She's so funky and got kind of a 70s vibe, but a Halloween vibe with the tentacles. And we're not done with those tentacles yet either. We've got another treatment to go with that. So anyway, if you guys have been watching this season's Project Runway, hit me in the comment section with your thoughts about the drama or not drama of it, because really I don't see a lot of drama. There's, except for the twin stuff, there's just Ethan dressed as a drag queen once. Ooh, he used to be on a different show. I want to say he was on RuPaul's drag show. I never watch, listen, I don't watch any other reality TV shows except this. And I did watch Legendary when it was on. I love Legendary. I'm very upset that they took it off, and I wish it would come back. I loved everyone on that show. I loved everything about that show. It was so fun and theatrical and amazing. And I would watch it again right now. It's amazing. So we're going to put the little suckers on our tentacles. Listen, if you're going to make this set and you don't want to go to this level, you don't have to. You could even just use a dotting tool and put pink dots as your tentacles. But I wanted to just do it up. Okay, I really did. Now, I wanted to tell you also how I eventually discovered the right way to put these on. Because at first, like right here, they're totally sticking on no problem. But as you go and you're touching the tentacles, the sticky layer comes off, you wipe them away or what have you, and there's nothing to grab the gel with. It just won't stick to that shiny gel very easily on its own. And especially since I was sort of making the little indentations with the dotting tool as I was picking it up. So it was sticking to the dotting tool. It wouldn't come off on the gel. And so I had to figure out the right way to do it. And basically what I came up with while I put these gems on here is just pick it up with the metal bit, but don't, just barely tap it. And it'll come up on there. You can put it on the nail and then use you see how I'm struggling there? I left this in on purpose so you guys could see what I mean. I'm already trying to make the indentation, and so it won't come off because it's stuck to the metal. But see, it just won't work. It won't come off. And so I decided just ball it back up on there, stick it on, and then make the indentation after. And at first I was still using the metal bit, the little dotting tool for this. No. We're gonna pull out the silicone tool. Let's talk a minute about these gems. Each nail that gets gems is going to be a tiny bit different, but with basically the same elements. There is a teardrop gem in this kit that we are going to add to a couple of the nails, but mostly they're just going to be that beautiful white. What shape is that? Like a marquee or something? I forget. If you know, let me know. And then we're going to surround it with the blue gems because they look so pretty on this blue nail. It's the perfect contrast of blues. There's a hint of green in the gems, and we did put that teal little bit in the marble mix, so it's pulling in on that. Sorry for a second there, I started stuttering for reasons I don't understand. I don't know, because I've been talking for 28 minutes straight. There you go. So here we go. This is the process now. Set it down with the metal bit because the metal does pick it up really well. But then come in with that pointy silicone tool and make the little indentation in the sucker. I'm sure there's a real name for all of those parts to the octopus. I do not know them. I am not a zoologist or whatever ocean animal person that studies that stuff is called. I'm not those things. So they're suckers, right? They call them suckers? I don't know. But then I make the indentation in there with the silicone tool because once it's on the gel, it doesn't really want to come back off. But making the indentation with the metal bit, with the metal, I don't know why I keep saying bit, with the metal dotting tool, it sticks to it and it won't come loose. So We needed a different process, and here's my process. There you are. I think this is the last of the suckers that you're going to, of the suckers that you're going to see, because we're going to start in on our top coat process now. And I did speed this up a little bit because, actually double time, because when you have this many gems, you go really slow, or at least I do. You don't want to get any top coat up on your gems. And so you just go really, really slow and make sure that you come up to them, but you don't go on top of them. It's okay to hit the sides a little bit, you know, because it sort of helps suck it down, but you don't want on top. Although I will say, I keep seeing that video where they use the dual forms, and they put diamonds in the clear gel and then put the nail on, and they're floating inside the gel. I think that's pretty. So I'm curious about that, and I do have some dual forms. Let me know in the comment section if we should try that. Here we go with just some more top coat, and then we're going to top coat this as well. And when we get to the teeth, we're going to add a little gem in there, a little stud, if you will. The inspiration pick had stars and hearts, I think. And I do have some things that would work for that, but you don't see all the teeth on my mouth, and they wouldn't fit in there. So I just went with one single gem because I just thought it looked really pretty. And when I tried to add more, I didn't like it. So there's no other reasoning there besides what I liked and didn't like. So as I top coat this, I just see little things that I feel like next time I would do a little different, especially on the mouth. As far as the tentacles go, I love them. I love the pink that they are. I love their little suckers. I love that they're curled up a little bit. This definitely makes me feel like we are going to experiment a lot more with making mouths and having the mouths do different things. Here we go with our little blue gem. And we are almost done with our top coat. This is the ring finger, so we have one more left to do, and our set today will be completed. This is a very fantasy, fun, quirky, kind of pop arty sort of set, and I have to say, even though it's my own work, I am in love with it. I'm very enamored with the mouth. When I made it and I got it all finished, I was sort of dancing a little, right, with happiness about how good it came out, and that it was literally my first try. I thought for sure I'd have a lot of extra footage of me putting on mouths and making a new nail and making a new mouth, but that didn't happen. It all came together in this beautiful, quirky little pop art masterpiece, and I absolutely love it. I feel like I could have played up the pop art and drawn a bunch of stuff on the other nails, but I think the bling is perfect. It brings a little bit of in-your-face elegance to an otherwise quirky set, and I'm not mad about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and don't forget, everything I use today will be listed in the description. If you've got thoughts on Project Runway, please don't forget to let me know what those are, because I love the community of it all. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming by today and watching with me. See you in the next one. Mwah! Bye-bye.